Hi everyone, once again, good evening. Today we are going to discuss Jesus Generation Season 3, The Life. And this is the Ark of Testimony and Ark of Covenant. Here we are going to have three sessions. One is gold jar with manna. Second is, Aaron's rod that is budded. And third is tablets of the covenant. So let's engage with today, golden jar with manna. So this is how the covenant, the ark look like. Aaron's rod that is budded, and this is, the manna that is kept in there. Achha, can you guys hear? Because it's saying my internet is unstable. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I can see that. It looked like that manna is very fragmented, no? Broken into small.
No, it's like
Like a
manna is
big
like that only, no?
manna is like that only. Okay.
Yeah. No, I
I
don't
thought
know
it
in
was like a big
Bangalore.
white.
I don't know in Bangalore, but in Vizag, manna is like that.
Look like wheat, right? Wheat.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like some ragi or something.
Yes.
I never seen people tell that, but it's in white in color. So okay,
I've
if you
seen in
want,
some movies and like white, like
yeah. See, many people ask why we don't ask manna today. If God gives manna, people are not going to eat that because they want mutton, chicken,
chicken
pork, all
biryani,
that.
mutton biryani.
They want fish, cake, all that. So it's not possible with manna. Okay, so we're going to see scriptures one by one. So first we'll see Revelation 11:19. It says, "Then the sanctuary of God, the one in heaven, opened, and the ark of his covenant was seen in his sanctuary. And there were lightning and voices and thunders and an earthquake and a violent hailstorm." So it's a very active place. Ark of the Covenant, it's a place where God meets his sons, God meets his creation. So it's a very active place. Again, we'll see Exodus 25:21-22. It says, "And you will put the cover above the ark, and in the ark you will put the testimony that I shall give you." You can't go and keep whatever. It's not a bank account, okay? You can't keep whatever you want. It's a ark prepared by God, and he will tell you what to put there. Ark, you will put the testimony that I shall give you, and there I shall meet with you, and I shall speak with you from above the cover, from between the two cherub, which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things, which I shall give you in commandment for the children of Israel. So, in other words, God is not, like a businessman. If you give something, then only you will speak. But since we know the earthly journey is all about love, all about learn to love, not love, learn to be love. Because due to the tree of death that is implanted in us, we do not have that love. Even if we have love, it is for the small circle. But we have to extend our horizon, or we have to extend our tents. And to teach you love, he will meet you with what you surrender. Okay, many people, because of that, one place it says, rich man cannot enter through the ice needle. Okay, it's about a gate they are talking about. Why rich man cannot enter? Rich is not bad. God wants his all children to be wealthy. But if you stuck to your riches, if you hold on to it, and if you fear of losing it, if you have a fear that somebody will come and take from it, and if you are jealous of it, then it's bad. Then you cannot enter into the kingdom. Okay, so to teach us love, he will meet you what you surrender. Okay, so surrendered life, submissive life is very essential. We are going to discuss again Hebrews 9:2-5. "Indeed, a tabernacle was prepared, and the first room in it had a menorah, that is tree of life, and the table and the bread of the presence, that is the provision for the priest, which first room is called holy." Verse 3, "But after the second veil in the tent, the one called Holy of Holy, there was a golden altar of incense. Why there is a golden altar of incense here inside the holy place, inside the Holy of Holies? Because the priest is inside. Incense and the Ark of the Covenant, which was covered entirely in gold and had in it the gold jar with manna. First it is manna, okay, gold jar with the manna, and the rod of Aaron that budded, and the tablets of the covenant. There are three things. One is manna, which is preserved in a golden jar, and the rod, the authority of Aaron that was tested and approved by God before all, and the tablets of the covenant, the covenant, or you can call it ketubah, or you can call it destiny, blueprint, mandate, whatever you call it, that's given by God. Okay, and above it 2 cherubs of glory that overshadowed the mercy seat. So it's not a place where you just go and visit. Okay, in a sense, it is covered and overseen by the guarding angels. In a sense, cherub is a guardian angel of the earth. So you can't really manipulate that area. It completely surrendered to your heart. Okay. One of the reasons why 2 cherubs were there, one reason, because God always moves with his entourage, and they are the gatekeepers, but also they are on the Ark of the Covenant, Ark of the Testimony. So whatever you surrender, God knows, they know, you cannot change it. Surrendered heart cannot change it. Okay. It's like that. Now we'll see, as I asked you, what is the difference between Ark of Testimony and Ark of Covenant. So we're going to see that in Exodus 25:22. Ark of the Testimony, Ark of Testimony, in Hebrew it is Aaron Hedeth. Okay. Ark is Aaron. It's very funny. Okay. So in Ark, or in Aaron, Aleph, Resh, Nun. Okay, and if you see, Aleph is 1, Resh is 200, Nun is 50. So it comes to 251. And 251 equals to 8. And number 8 is for the new beginning. And I interpret Aaron like this: offspring or descendant of the head chief or head god, godhead, or the first. Okay. So Aaron means the offspring of God or descendant of God. Now, Hedeth means testimony, and there you have He, Ain, Dalet, and Tau. And He is 5, Ain is 70, Dalet is 4, Tau is 400. If you combine it, it will become 479, which equals to 20. So divine family. So Ark of the Testimony is for its descendant to become family. So Hedeth I interpret like this: behold and see and understand the way of life and be joined together as family. You understand? This is what Ark of the Testimony says. And now let's discuss Numbers 10:33. It's Ark of Covenant. So Ark of Covenant in Hebrew is Aaron Berith. We have seen Aaron is what? Offspring of God. And Berith is Beth, Resh, Yod, Tau. And Beth is 2, Resh is 200, Yod is 10, Tau is 400. It combines to 612 is equal to 9. The 9 number is for restoration. So Berith is the God has finished joining his family together. Okay. One is what we have seen here. He says, behold, you see, understand, and see, understand the way of life and joined as a family. This is you doing it. But Ark of the Covenant is Godhead has finished his family together. Okay. So that's the difference between Ark of the Testimony and Ark of the Covenant. Okay. Many people give their testimonies, right? So it's what God has, in a sense, what you experience in God has done in your life. But the covenant he will do, not you. Okay. So this is Ark of the Covenant and Ark of the Testimony. The difference is that, as per what I understand today. Now let's go to Exodus 16:32 to 35. And Moses said, this is the thing that the Lord commands: fill an omer of it and be kept for your generations. So if you see this manna that is kept inside the golden jar in the ark of the covenant or ark of the testimony is not to eat. It is for the next generation. So they can see the bread with which I have fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out from the land of Egypt. So this is basically a testimony. Many of us, we ourselves, you just examine your life. How much this money, how much this fear of sustenance, okay, how much this provision or fear of survival or hardship of survival really blocked you from your way of life. We know that what suffering we did to come to this place. Okay, all of us, we are all victorious. We're all more than conquerors. Most of our brothers and sisters are at the altar of brazen, brazen altar. They are doing worship. They're, sacrifice. They are doing offering of sacrifice. All that. But we have left that place in a sense. We are not. You can kind of say that is whatever happening there is not satisfied us. We felt something deeper is awaiting. So we came here and we are standing before the ark now. Okay, this is a struggle. This is normally happens to the first generation. Now, if any of us, not any of us, I don't think so, there is a choice. If you want, or you and me want that our sons, their daughters, their sons, walk freely to the Holy of Holies, we should do something with this ark, in a sense, this place. Because many of them, because of the fear that God is not going to provide you, because we have very wrong testimonies, whenever we see the religion, we see the people suffering, all that, it is all wrong testimonies, okay? And we think, no, it's not our baby. But if, let's say, my father would have kept something in the ark for his generation, for me to walk to the Holy of Holies is going to be very easy because I will not fear. Most of us, those who are in the worldly system, they have a fear of survival, fear how we are going to survive. That fear stopping us to go to that place. So it says, this is the thing that the Lord commands, fill an omar of it, be kept for your generations. So they can see the bread with which I have fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out of the land of Egypt. I'll tell you, if anyone has this assurance, God is going to provide them. They'll never struggle in the world. Why would any Christian who knows God, who understands His glory, why would he goes to work and survive? If only he or she knows that God is his provider, God is going to provide. If that fear goes, I think most of us is going to sit in the closed room and try to see His face to face. Okay? And it says, so they can, okay. Verse 33, and Moses said to Aaron, take a pot and put an omar full of manna in it and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for your generations. Okay? 34 says, so Aaron laid it up as the Lord commanded Moses to be kept before the testimony, and their children of Israel ate manna for 40 years until they come to an inhabited land. They ate manna until they came. So we know when we are in a holy place, there is a showbread. And showbread is given to us by the system of the world, so that while we are waiting on the Lord, while we are engaging tree of life, we should not feel hungry. Okay, they are providing us to keep us sustained, and that needs to be changed every month. Like every month you need to pay your bills, all that. This is a temporary thing. But if you and me have manna, although see, we have come here, okay, so we have come before the ark and we are facing it, okay, so we are receiving. For us, no need now. But if you and me want our generations, okay, they should not walk in the fear that we walked. They should walk in boldness, and they should not be entangled with any of the things that are really not good for human walk on the earth. It's I mean, there are many things it's okay to have, but it's not good. Anything that clings us to the worldly system. I'm not saying if any of our children will not walk with God, they will go to hell. I'm not saying that. They'll not fulfill their destiny. Their lives will be not good. They'll be happy, healthy. Okay. They'll not be sick. They'll not be ignorant. They'll not be addictions. All that. There is a way with God. There is a way where the person as a glory of God. So our children can walk that kind of life. Okay. Now, what is this? In a sense, the manna in Hebrew is mem and nun. Mem is water, 40, and nun is 50, offspring or descendants. So, in other words, life sustenance for God offspring to become fullness of God. It's 100. So, it's a fullness of God. Okay, manna is given to his children, God's children, although it says the angels put all that, but it's for God's children. Okay. Now, if you read Matthew 6:19-20, it says, Jesus said, do not gather treasures on earth for yourselves where moth and rust are destroying and where thieves break in and steal. So these Israelites, they used to get this manna every day. Okay. So that time there were no banks. Now we earn money, whatever we do, not only money, but many things we deposit in the bank or, system where our children can get it, or we can use it after some time. It says, verse 20, but build up treasures for yourself in heaven. When Jesus said this, is there any bank in heaven available? Where are you going to deposit a treasure in heaven? Okay? Because the one who said this, you should ask him. I think no believer, no preacher, no brother can really interpret rightly. They may interpret selfishly. But this is the right place. If Jesus said, treasures, put your treasures in heaven, you should go and ask him. Okay. And this is not for blessings. We are already blessed because we are his sons. We will learn to live, we will learn to love, perfect love, how it happens when you sacrifice something dear to you. Whoever in the Christendom, when I'm saying Christendom, I'm saying from Adam to Jesus. Okay, whoever understood this sacrificial offering, something I sacrifice to God. Sacrifice into, that means I offer to God whatever he directs. Whoever understood this, they did great mighty things in the God's kingdom. Okay, because the worldly system, there are many banks closed. There are many people hard-earned money were kept in the bank and the bank closed, money gone. Okay, but there is a place. And why we are doing it? It's not to get reward. It's not God is going to be happy. It's for ourselves. The suffering that we have made, our generation should not do it. So if you're a selfish person, you think it's for your children. But if your heart is extended, you will think for next generation. Okay, it's depend where you are. If you are a normal man and woman, you think, okay, if I go and put something into the ark, then my children will be, they will not suffer, they will not have fear, they will just walk with God. But if you are broad-minded, your heart is extended, then you will do it for your generation, because the next generation no need to suffer like we suffered. And it says, where your treasure is, there also your heart will be. If any of you think your heart is not with God, heart is not there, heart is in all the times, in a sense, is a places which are not helping your heart in different places. So I think you need to do something here. See, giving of the manna was one of the most extraordinary miracles in the Bible. Week after week, manna appeared all around the tabernacle. For 40 years, it kept to a constant cycle of 5 days of a single portion, then 1 day of a double portion, and 1 day of no portion. So this is a systematic, God systematically given them. Okay. So I think this should be our life. Struggle, waiting for the salary, waiting for the profits, waiting for, any kind of thing, returns is not actually a son's action. We should be resting and provision should follow. Okay. So provision from God is the greatest freedom. Everyone need to fulfill our mandate. In a sense, if let's say our children, for example, my daughter, she's studying now MTech, and she doesn't want to serve God. Let's say she's not interested to serve God. She's not going to go to hell. Okay. But what she will do is she will not fulfill her freedom, a destiny. So I did what I should do for my generation. Okay. Uh, okay. I will tell you. When I was in Bombay, God showed me somebody who is my next generation. Okay. That time I did not have this understanding. Okay. As I was meditating, I got, God revealed to me all that without knowing his inspiration I have done. So God told me one person is my next generation. Of course, there are many people at next generation, but God showed me one particular person. So I came to know that person is coming and teaching in one place near to my place. So I went there to meet that person. And myself and one more a friend of mine, we were both sitting, and I saw he was not comfortable. He was a little fearful to preach before me. So immediately God reminded me what he said to Jeremiah. He said to Jeremiah, do not fear their faces. When Jeremiah was very fearful, he's not able to speak God's word before the elders and the seniors, all that. So God reminded me immediately. What I did is I used my spirit hand and I pulled the mask over my face. And I also did with my friend who was there. I pulled his mask also. And I saw within seconds, he became free. He was flowing. Earlier, he was really reluctant to speak and he was really fearfully speaking. The moment I removed my mask, he started speaking freely. And after his session is over, we went to hotel and I kind of helped him to understand all that. And he was very surprised to hear my words, all that. And he said, I gave him an offer. Come, let us engage. I will help you to grow. But that time, he was very famous in our city and he was in Cloud9. So he said, no, I'll let you know. And then he was gone for 9 months. Now, I don't remember exactly 9 months or 8 months, he's gone. And after maybe 8-9 months, he kind of sent me a message that he wanted to learn something and can you help me? I said, yeah, please come. So I was in rest. Whatever God asked me to do, I did it and I was in rest. And he came and then he became a part of Ecclesia Mumbai. And then we went to a marriage. Okay. And I do not have a suit, like, coat, pant and all. So he told me, let's go and buy it. So I went and he chose a color which I didn't like. I believe he chose his color. So we bought it and then I bought a new shoe, it's a very expensive shoe. I bought it and okay. So after that, when I was coming from Bombay, I have no clue, no preconceived idea that I'm not going to go to Bombay. When I'm coming from Bombay, it was in my mind, it is sabbatical only. But I don't know, God inspired me to do certain things. I handed over my entire business to him. My entire business in sense, last 15 years, 12, 13 years, whatever I did in Bombay, all the contacts, everything I gave it to him. And even Ecclesia Mumbai, I handed over to him. I gave my suit. I gave my shoe. Everything to him. I mean, I did without knowing anything. And I came back. So in my capacity, whatever I can do, I did to my next generation. Okay. So I'm not saying you give your clothes and shoes. I'm saying whatever God shows you, do it for your next generation. So what it says is we have responsibility to achieve this freedom, which still many of us have not achieved. If you do not have freedom to depend on God, freedom to trust him, freedom not to give up on the things which you're not enjoying. Let's say if you're enjoying something outside, that's fine. If you're not enjoying struggling and fighting, all that. So bread has to be a sweet, restful bread. If bread is coming from sweat, all this janjat, then something is wrong. So what we'll do is today, let's go to Manna. We'll ask Father to show what you should do so that you will have freedom for yourself and also for your generation. Let's go. Your next generation. Father, we come before the Ark of Testimony, Father. Father, as you ordered, as you commanded Moses to put manna into that golden pot, we have come here, Father, and stand before a golden pot in our Ark of Testimony. It's not Aaron's ark, it is our ark, Father. Each of us, we are standing before our own individual ark, a private place to meet with God face to face. This ark is going to be your name, each of us. So, Father, as we stand before our ark, to us, Father, what we should sacrifice today, what we should keep it here, so that we will have freedom, and even our next generation, our next inheritance, our children, their children, even our generation hereafter, even the Jesus generation, Father, even as a whole church congregation, Father, how they can walk in this fearless, bold life. Here we are, Father, show us and give us the courage and boldness and the freedom to do it, whatever you asked us to do. Whatever you surrendered to God, let's Father meet us on that surrendered life. As we showed our heart by surrendering whatever you showed, let's meet God. Father, meet us. As per our surrender, Father, meet us. you.